Try something different and new today. What I did is I scanned the internet for all the interesting news clips that were out there today, and I put them all together in a bundle for you. I hope you enjoy. Here's the first one. It's Bernie Sanders in an interview with George Stephanopoulos on ABC, where he admits he will be raising taxes on everyone, rich and poor. Here, watch for yourself.
Hikes below the top 1%? No tax hikes below the top 1%?
I didn't say that.
You're such an ugly man.
That will require a small increase in the payroll tax. I'm on board Senator Gillibrand's legislation, and we can accomplish that with just a small increase in the payroll tax.
But that'll hit everybody. That's going to hit everybody.
That would hit everybody. Yeah, it would, but it would.
Now in this clip, I have Hillary Clinton in an interview with Chuck Todd, where she was caught purposely lying, and the people from Morning Joe called her out on it. It's a very good clip. I hope you enjoy it.
Including FBI officials. Looking into whether national security was compromised because of this server.
At the time, there was nothing marked classified, and that is the fact that hasn't changed ever since.
And you said it was allowed too.
Yes, it was.
Who allowed it?
It was allowed under the rules of the State Department, and again.
So nobody signed off on
it. No, it was allowed. One of my predecessors did the same thing. Others in our government have done the same thing at very high levels, because the rules did change after I left the State Department. But at the time and in prior years, the rules allowed it.
Doesn't belong in the world. That's what it is. Something separates me from other people.
Blah, blah. Who had a server in their basement?
First
oh my God.
That's just not.
That's exciting.
Who had
a server in their basement?
No, the two things you said just were not true. And this is one of the remarkable things.
Who had a server in their basement?
Bob, this is one of the more remarkable things about Hillary Clinton. She says things
that are not true
on television that she knows are not true, that her staff knows is not true, that the press knows is not true, that people following the story knows it's not true, and
music even.
I like it fine.
You don't like it. You don't like to dance, and you don't like to drink. You don't like for a man to hold you close. That's it, isn't it?
I didn't say that.
You haven't said anything all evening.
Like, for instance, that other people did it. Colin Powell didn't have a private server that he ran all State Department and classified business through at his home in McLean.
Well, that's true. There's many unanswered questions on this, but you've got to look at her response. Laughter is not the best response. I think that
I thought it was the best medicine.
No, not when you're talking about a serious FBI investigation.
You get an FBI.
This third clip I got for you is Alex Jones, and I'm not even going to cut into it. It's just so good. It's about the 9/11 and the conspiracy theories surround it, where the 28 pages have not been published. However, there has been new documents leaked over the weekend which supports Alex's theory, and I think you're going to really like this one.
Came out and said, "Hey, Jeb, shut up about me not being able to run the military. 9/11 happened put on your brother's watch." And he said, how dare you? He was president, okay, but don't blame him. Well, we know the 28 pages from Senator Graham and Senator Jones that have seen it, and military we've had on that have seen it. It says Saudi Arabia ran the attacks to blame Iraq. That was always the plan. And then our own government, bare minimum, stood down. And of course, it was more than that. But we have the fact that it now, to a great extent, was an inside job. Now we have the Daily Mail, Reuters, and others. Smoking gun emails reveal Blair's deal in blood with George W. Bush over Iraq war was forged a year before the invasion had even started. Now we have the White House and Downing Street memos. This is another memo now. And in it, this is confirmed, in it, they knew that Saddam wasn't involved and just wanted to invade, and they killed over 1 million Iraqis. So this shows they framed a whole country for a false flag attack and did it, so Saudi Arabia that runs ISIS can now take over. This is a Wahhabist Sunni operation to take over the Middle East that our government's working with, and so they attack us, and then we attack their enemies.
My fourth clip here is more of an educational one. It's about a church that's been buried for 400 years, but since the water levels have went down, it's finally showing itself.
Site, you might say, at a Mexican reservoir. Check this out. A 16th century church, submerged for years, has reappeared. A lack of rain has drawn the water level down more than 80 feet. It's believed the church was abandoned when a devastating plague swept through. It's the second time in recent years the church has been revealed. Last time the water was so low people could actually walk inside. It's absolutely freaky.
And now on this clip, it shows Fox News about the Benghazi hearing and one important question nobody seems to be asking. This one is uninterrupted as well.
Put all this to the side. Your singular question is, what were we doing in Benghazi in the first place?
Nobody has asked that question.
Why is that so important?
Because it speaks to the whole Middle East policy of the Obama administration. You know, we went into Libya, had a Libyan war, got rid of Gaddafi, and then what happened? Jihadi chaos in Libya. It wasn't a democracy. There's now jihadi chaos throughout the entire region. So the question I want to know is, what were those guys doing at that consulate? You know, in the State Department, a consulate is where diplomats work, and they issue visas, and they look for tourist lost luggage. They don't walk around with special forces. They don't have a lot of weaponry there.
So go ahead and answer your own question.
Okay.
What's your theory?
Here's the rumor that has been swirling around for the last 2 years, is that they were running guns. Is that the Gaddafi forces, Gaddafi had a lot of weapons. He had particularly shoulder-fired man-pads. They're weapons that can, one man operates them, and you could take down a helicopter with them. Those all went missing after Gaddafi was overthrown. The rumor was that these guys were in Benghazi, these former Special Forces guys, because they were looking for those weapons. What were they doing with those weapons? Those are all the unanswered questions.
This clip I think you're going to really find interesting. It's about mainstream media not telling you the truth. And unfortunately, this reporter who was in Jerusalem did not tell the truth and was called out on it on live air, no less. This is a great one.
To me, and again, I'm ballparking it here, but definitely did not look to me older than 25 years old. It looked from where I was standing at least to be a young man, did not look to be, particularly armed. And again, that was confirmed by the fact that the police ultimately removed his clothes. They didn't find any explosive devices on him. I was trying to keep an eye to see if they were taking anything off of his body, perhaps if they took a gun, if there was a gun that was visible. There was no gun that was visible. And at one point, we can clearly see from where we were lying, from where we were standing, where his body was lying, both of his hands were open, and both of his hands did not have a knife. Now, that was after police... to the body, so it's very possible.
Yeah, Eamon.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, and this is important because, you're covering this story live, and you're seeing it once, and you're actually witnessing it, not knowing what you're seeing until you actually process it. But in the video that we have, that you have, that is, as you say, I don't think anybody else has this video, we can clearly see the man in camouflage t-shirt and pants with what appears to be, at least in his right hand, a knife. And take a look at this video right here. We can't really determine what he has on his left hand, but he's holding something in his left hand. And in his right hand, it's fisted, and you see coming right out of the fist what appears to be like at least a 5-inch or longer black blade.
There you have it. I hope you enjoy the clips I put together for you today. I couldn't believe how long it took to put them all together, but hopefully I'll get a bunch of hits and it is something worthwhile for me to continue to do. Thanks.